One of the best opportunities for you to get the word out, to get visible, and to create credibility in your community is through community groups on Facebook. But man, some of you do not understand the concept of community.
My goal is to help restaurant owners finally get to where they want to go. But more than that, my goal is to find entrepreneurs within that segment that actually know what it means to hustle. That's my goal. Come on the journey with me.
Restaurant Marketing Secrets, episode 311. I'm your host, Matt Plapp, and we're brought to you by America's Best Restaurants. America's Best Restaurants is on a path to help you, independent restaurant owners, find more frequent customers. And there's a 3-step approach to this. Attract, build, retain. Today, we're talking about how to attract attention and build some loyalty that might not exist currently. When I first got into what we would call social media today, it was through chat rooms. It was back in 2004 to 2005 when Glenn Warner opened up my eyes to places like Bass Boat Central, Fishing.com, Arctic Cat ATVs, Airstream forums. These were forums within the community of brands that we sold at our dealership that we got active in. And here's how we succeeded. And it was a rule back then that you followed to the law because you didn't want to get kicked out. No selling. I remember when we first started sponsoring these boards. And if you know my origin story, you can find it online, but I think it's even at mattplapp.com under About Me. But my origin story talks about how we found these boards. And it was through understanding where our employees were going when they had downtime. My dad hated they were going on the internet when they had downtime. I understood that there was a lot of downtime to be had in retail, just like your restaurant, and just like all of your customers have downtime at their jobs every day. But back then, there was no Facebook or Instagram. That MySpace came around, I think, in like 06, 07 maybe. But there were these chat rooms, which are today Facebook groups in essence. And the role of these chat rooms, especially when you were a sponsor like we were, was no selling. That if you were a boat dealership and you were in the Triton forum, it wasn't to sell Triton boats. It was to help Triton boat owners or contribute to conversations that were already happening. And us as a sponsor, we had some special advantages that they didn't realize back then were special advantages. I didn't realize, but turned out to be gold mines, was you had to put your link to your website. So it was, hey, Matt, you guys are the official Mercury sponsor for XYZ board. Whenever there's a Mercury question, we would appreciate it if you would contribute in a non-selling manner, but you have to use your correct name. You have to have a link to your company, and you have to be transparent of who you are. But there's no selling. So now let's take this to 2023. We were in 03, now we're in 23. Let's talk about Facebook groups and how your restaurant can leverage those to build a loyal following, trust in the community, and drive long-term sales.
We interrupt this programming for a brief announcement from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Matt. Okay, there's no sponsor here, just us. We don't have advertising in our podcast. It's just us dropping value to help you build the ultimate marketing plan for your restaurant. But I want you to take advantage of something. We have our America's Best Restaurants University. Yes, it's not actually a university. It's an online training. But it is a great place for you to learn how to market your restaurant at a high level and join our community online and in our Facebook group. Go to abru.online/free. abru.online/free. Join the ABR University and let us help you get to the next level. Now back to the show.
Number one, let's talk about what not to do. You don't just share the Facebook post from your restaurant. We have groups that we just created recently for America's Best Restaurants, each state. And we did that for consumers to contribute their ideas of places we should know about and their favorite spots, their favorite dishes. But we, for a while, have had America's Best Restaurants owners and operators only. As the title said, it's owners and operators only, meaning the people in there are owners and operators only. Owners of restaurants will join. I vet them personally, every single one. We're up to about 1,003 people right now. I'm hoping to get it to 10,000 in 5 years, assuming Facebook groups exist in 5 years. Who knows where we'll be then. But I vet the people. I authorize them in. There's some rules of engagement in there. And literally every week, one of the new members will share a random ass post about their restaurant in this group. Tells me a few things. Number one, they didn't read the title of the group, because why would a bunch of other owners care about what's happening at that restaurant, care about your buffet, care about your new burger? Number two, it tells me they have not scrolled the group to look what's in there to see that none of that stuff is in there, that everything in there is business and tactical advice for other owners by us and by other owners. And number three, it tells me they don't give a shit, that all they're looking to do is spam another damn group. Now, if they shared that burger post and said, hey, guys, this is our burger of the week. We started doing this 2 years ago. Here's why. Here's what it's done. Here's how you can do it on your own. Hit me up if you have any questions. That's what it's all about. So now as we take that to you, your restaurant, and to community groups, for example, I live in Union, Kentucky. There is a Union, Kentucky group, I'm sure. There's a Florence, Kentucky one. There's Boone County. I'm sure there's 10 different groups within 5 miles of here. You as a restaurant should not be just sharing your posts. You should be doing two things. You should be interacting with other posts in there as yourself. And guess what? Your profile should have your name of your company. It should have links to your business. Your profile picture should have you swagged out. But you should be in there commenting about what's happening in the community. You should not be in there when somebody says, hey, what's a great spot to go? My restaurant, of course. Here it is. Here's a link. See you there. Because guess what? I'm going to guess you probably eat at other restaurants. How cool would it look if people knew that you owned Joe's Barbecue and you popped in posts all the time and said, hey, man, for pizza, my go-to is this place. For sandwiches, my go-to is this place. And for ice cream, my go-to is this place. They're going to be like, man, this guy didn't even mention his own place. It's going to put you at a different level. The other part of how you can use these groups is posting in them, but not sales posting. Why don't you actually be active in the community? Why don't you pop in there and say, hey, I just wanted to give a shout out to the 5 kids that work at our restaurant, that work their butts off, that are graduating from XYZ high school in our lovely community. Here's who they are. Here's what they do. Here's some things I've learned about them and what I appreciate about this generation. Why don't you share stuff that's happened in the community? Maybe if you had a podcast, like if you listen to my advice and you have your Dream 100 and every week you interview somebody in your community, you could share that podcast link, whether it's on Spotify, iTunes, wherever, or you could share the YouTube video or the Facebook video. But do not share your Facebook posts of your burgers, your pizza, because guess what? The people aren't in there for that. And that's not the concept. You do not want to be the friend of yours that sells the nutritional weight loss shake that only talks to you when he's selling you damn shakes. You want to be a person that is in those community groups to be in those. And they are a great opportunity, by the way. That's all I got. Let's attract, let's build, let's retain. See you next time.
So as you know, I don't charge for my content. We don't have sponsors. We don't have product placement in here. But what I want your help with is spreading the word. If you're finding value here, do me a favor. Share this on your social media. Share an episode with something that made sense to you, that's relevant to your restaurant, that you got value from, and tag Matt Plapp and America's Best Restaurants. Also, go to America's Best Restaurants on Facebook and on Google and leave us a review. Let us know the impact we've had on your restaurant with our roadshow, with our marketing help, or with our podcast. And last but not least, if you want to take the next step and help me out a lot and help us out a lot, text me a testimonial, 859-743-2408. That's my cell. A selfie video would be awesome about the impact this content or our company is having on your independent restaurant. But worst case scenario, just a few kind words. The way we can help lift this industry up is to help get content like this to more independent restaurant owners, and you are the key to spreading the word. I appreciate your support. Have an amazing day.